What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Stardew Valley, where apparently I'm going to pick a crocus. Let's see what's across this bridge. I actually have no idea what to expect. I promised in the previous episode that we would get started here. I'm hoping that there's something decent over here. It would kind of suck if you spend all that time trying to get that thing taken care of. It takes you almost a year to get the thing finished, and then there ends up being like nothing over here. It does look like it's just a loose assortment of random mining nodes. There are a few bigger stones in here, and there's also one little glowy stone down there to the south of me, so you'll forgive me, but I'm gonna do some Pac-Man action over here and just kind of dig my way to each one of the nodes. We don't have our axe at the moment because it needs to be upgraded by the blacksmith, so he's over there. So what was that? Iridium ore. Okay, we don't really have 5 of them. We only have the one. And so I'm not really sure how useful that's actually going to be in the long term. But I'm pretty sure I threw that away. Thank you. I'm almost positive I told you to throw that away. And yet there it still lies on the ground. We've got some iron back up in here. We actually need a lot of this stuff. I need the copper more than anything else. And actually I need coal very, very badly too. And unfortunately it just has not been around. Now it looks like there's nothing to the south. It looks like this might just be a free set of nodes for you to get after. I don't think this mine is actually going anywhere, so fixing the mine carts might not be a bad idea next, just so we can see where each one of these leads and takes us. Can I break these bigger stones over here, I wonder? Let's try that out real fast. I cannot, so apparently they do not count as the brand of stone that I'm supposed to be clearing out. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we really haven't accomplished that much here. I was hoping we get a little bit more coal, but I'm thinking we have to go back down to the dungeon level to get that. We got to go to wherever it was that there was those little coal monsters, those little black things that were jumping around. I think they were in the dungeon level, and I think they were in the icy level, but I can't quite remember. Let's run all of this ore and all of these random geologic materials. We'll take these back to the farm. Once we're back at the farm, I'd probably recommend we stow that on up so that we don't have to worry about carrying it around with us anymore. In the meantime, while we're over here, I'm also going to talk to Linus because I'd like to become friends with him, if at all possible, and it is his birthday. You remember my birthday, thank you. This is great, good. His birthday's all taken care of. Where is Linus on our list? Linus on our list, to get the gist of where Linus is on our list, he's right there at the middle, and so obviously some opportunities were missed because Linus was on our list and all that sort of thing. Keep on rhyming, so on and so forth. We still need to get him to 4 hearts so that we can see the next part of his storyline and find out how he became a robe-clad, I don't know, Barney Rubble-looking caveman-ass hobo. I'm not sure how he got the way he is. His clothing looks like something out of the Flintstones, that's all that I'm saying. We don't have enough inventory space to pick up any of that, so I'm not going to be able to concern myself with it right now. It is the 3rd. We could go get our axe, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to run back over to the blacksmith's while I sort all this out. We may or may not. Don't need you to go in there. Oh, we got gold cheeses out. That'll be pretty cool. Iridium ore right there. Throw some of the stone in along with the copper bars, and that should be absolutely fine. Alright, and if I really hustle this out, we might be able to make it back over to the blacksmith's by the end of the day. He closes at 4 p.m., so I don't know. I was hoping at some point in the game we get like running shoes or something like that. Make us go a little bit faster. I bought some new running shoes like 6 months ago. They're just normal like Nike trainers. I gotta buy another pair. I run 5 miles a day, and so I tend to go through I tend to go through shoes very, very rapidly. I kill the treads on them with a plumba. I am the tread slayer. No one can stop me from running up on your shoes and claiming your treads. And so then they get all smooth on the bottom, and then when it rains, I end up slipping and sliding all over the place. Well, when it gets icy and cold, because I run no matter what. There's no such thing as a bad running day. Ooh, another snow yam. Huzzah. And there it is. We've got a steel axe now. So that'll help out a little bit. Can I upgrade the copper hoe? I don't think I brought the copper with me. It would have been easier if I could have done it right now, but we'll make the run back across a little bit later. And then while Gunter is here, I'm going to donate to this side. I've got a bunch of rando stuff, and I don't know what to do with it. I'll probably put it right there. Oh, we got a new reward. That'll be fun. What do we get? A skeleton can be placed inside your house just in case you enjoy terrifying the shit out of yourself every single night when you get up to take a pee. No, I actually guess it would be scaring the pee out of yourself since I already said that you had to pee. But you might get a little bit of extra in there. You might get a little bonus. Who knows? I had a skeleton in my room when I was like 16 or 17 when I was super into heavy metal. My room was dope. Like, I had loads and loads of like heavy metal pictures, and they were all side by side, and they were all little like 3 by 3 inch pictures, and there was like thousands of them. It took me like an entire summer. I collected all these pictures from different metal shows and then put them all up along the ceiling and along the walls. And my room was shaped like a pentagon. There we go. That's the word that I'm looking for. And so if you were like at the end of the room looking down, the walls are shaped like a pentagon. So it's got like the side walls on the left and the right are perpendicular with the floor, but then when it gets to the top, it becomes like a pentagon. And so that was all covered. So it's kind of like a tunnel that you were walking through of heavy metal. And then I had like a lamp that hung from the ceiling, and so I hung a chain from that. And I had like this 2-foot tall skeleton, and I hung the skeleton from the chain. It was in the middle of the room. It was pretty dope. The skeleton was hung up by its neck, just like, ah. My room was pretty metal. I'm not gonna lie. My room was, it was pretty metal. Sometimes I miss it. My current room, I don't know. My housing decorating skills have gone down a lot. Then again, I don't have a lot of time anymore. That's the difference. When I was like 16, I had loads of time to kill and nothing better to do. And so that's a pretty major part of it too. So did they give me big milks? They gave me normal milk, so I may have made a mistake by getting rid of those other milks. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Chickens, what are you up to? Are you chilling, chickens? I'm sure they are. What else do they have to do? They're just sitting in the barn all day. Alright, chickens, do you love me enough yet? It's weird that this planet has 4 seasons. I don't know if that bothers you, but it bothers me. Like, how would that work altogether? I mean, obviously it would lead to great music. Like, oh, won't you stay just a little bit longer? Walk like a man, talk like a man, walk like a man, ow, ow. Everybody loves Frankie Valli. Who doesn't love Frankie Valli? If you don't love Frankie Valli, you can leave the channel. You can go. I didn't come to you. You came to me. And we're going to have a Frankie Valli moment in here. But yeah, it weirds me out that they only have four months in their year. It's a little bit odd. Like, how does that work exactly? Like, physicists, what does this mean? Explain it to one such as I, who knows only of the stone underfoot. I feel like scientific professions would have a lot more like people involved with them if you got to describe yourself in kind of like a Lord of the Rings-esque way. Like when you got to talk, be like, I am the keeper of the stones, the reader of the bedding, he who looks upon sand grains and smiles. Like, if you got to describe the scientific pursuit that you were into in that way, I think more people would be into science. But because we just have like lame words like geology and biology, people like roll, they're like, oh god, please don't talk about your job. Anything but talking about your job. But I think we should try it. I really do. He who looks upon the animal and says, verily let me catalog your various attributes. Sorry about what happened at my place yesterday. My mom can get into bad moods sometimes. Please just forget it happened. Well, now that you said that, it's going to be stuck in my head forever. I can't just forget things. I'm not a robot. Figgle Farmer, how are you doing? I've enclosed some instructions on how to make one of my favorite fish recipes. Sashimi. Who doesn't love sashimi? Sashimi is pretty good. A lot of people think sushi is raw fish, but actually, by default, I think sashimi is raw fish. Sushi, it can be cooked, it can be braised, they can do just about anything to sushi. I think sushi more denotes the wrap that you use, or something like. Let's see if this is more effective now. Doesn't feel more effective. I mean, don't get me wrong, it might be, but it doesn't feel like it is. I don't know if I'm getting more wood out of here or what. Doesn't feel like it chops the trees faster, though. And then supposedly there's something like on one side of my farm that's like blocking a way out or something like that, where if I can chop it, something good happens. But I'm not exactly sure where it's at. Like somebody had said that there's a log around here somewhere that if you have the steel axe you can break it and then it leads to like a secret area or something like that. Unfortunately, I haven't really been paying attention, so it might be Got a pretty solid thicket on this side. It doesn't look like there's anything over here. Definitely thinking it might be worth it to destroy these, though. Looks like they give you a pretty good grip of hardwood. I don't recall what I needed hardwood for. I think it was mostly for upgrades, for things like the barn and the coop. It was like taking our coops and our barns and making them more effective at their coopery and barnery. And so, we're probably going to need a fairly solid supply of some of this good old hardwood giggity all up inside of our inventory. So that gave us, yeah, we got 42 hardwood, which is basically the amount of hardwood we had collected throughout the course of the entire game, and we just remade that stuff back up. There's supposed to be something around here that I can chop or get out of the way or something. I'm just going to kind of do some rounds around the edge of the farm and see if I run into it. I don't see it anywhere, so maybe I'm wrong. I can chop things down in here, too. Ooh. My inventory's full. My inventory is always full. I gotta go buy the backpack from the store, because actually the inventory constraints in this game, they drive me crazy. The limited nature of your inventory, unfortunately, that's gonna clean out my entire bank account. And we're only on like the 4th day of winter. We haven't even made it that far into the winter season yet. What is this? Some pine tar, maybe? It looks like it might heal me or something. It's got like a little medical symbol on it. That'd be cool if I got like healing potions from trees. It apparently takes a long-ass time to convert eggplants into some kind of drinkable material. So yeah, we got a little bit more hardwood right there. Maple seeds can go up inside. That can go there. Probably need to deposit some of these things. Actually, I don't think those go inside of there. I think those go over here inside this inventory slot where we've got space for them. Then we can take you and drop a couple more bits and pieces inside of here. Don't think I'm going to need the scythe anytime soon, so I'm going to leave that laying off to the side. Crocus, did I refill? Sorry, my head got super itchy and I had to itch it. Sometimes you got to itch it right in the middle of an episode. I guess I'll put him right there. There's no better place for it. So many housing decorations at this point that I don't even know what to do with like half of them. I'm going to go back over to our bat cave. I'm going to check on the cows too, just to make sure that I didn't leave them high and dry over there without hay. I would prefer to keep all my animals fed, happy, and fat as we go further into the future. We got cherries over there. I don't think I've seen a cherry just yet. Salmon berries, all kinds of little goodies that the bats have brought us. I don't know what the better plan is, to go with the mushroom farm or to go with the bat cave. The mushroom farm seems like it'd probably be better for crafting, but this seems like it'd be better if you were planning on making kegs and you were trying to make like fruit ales and things like that. What is this? Pine tar. What does pine tar do? A pungent substance derived from pine sap. More than likely useful for crafting something in here, not oak resin. The preserves jar might also be an okay option for things that we can craft. We haven't gotten around to the loom just yet. That takes pine tar, wood, and fibers. So we could bang that out very, very easily. That wouldn't be hard to have at all. Turns raw wool into fine cloth. Unfortunately, I don't really have any animals. Has Marnie brought her game up just yet? And like made it so that we can get better selections of animals? Because last time I was down there, we couldn't really have anything except for, I think cows were like the only thing that were available. That looks good to me. I can live with that. We got to make a little bit of money. Otherwise, we're going to have trouble over the winter. Unfortunately, without my farming plots, this is going to be a tad more difficult. I've been plotting as hard as I can. I really have. Yeah, that's what I thought. I forgot to refill their hay. I'm also not totally sure if I milked them yet. So I should probably give that a go, too. Yeah, I have not milked the cows, and so did I get them all? I guess I got them all. Making some cheeses over on that side. More cheese makers would be pretty cool too. Like if we had, so let's see here, the cheese press requires more hardwood, more copper. Basically things that I don't have are what it requires. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to live with the fact that that hasn't been done yet. I'm going to swing over to the blacksmith's house. Let's grab the remainder of our copper bars out of here. It's not going to cost us too much to go ahead and upgrade our hoe from a normal one up to a copper one, and I assume that's going to make it go a little bit faster. In the meantime, while we're over there, I'll probably also pick up the backpack while we're in the neighborhood. The downside to losing our hoe is that we won't be able to. We lost our hoe. Pimpin' ain't easy, but somebody got to do it. Anyways, the downside to losing our hoe is that we won't be able to dig up any of these little foraging spots that are around. But I think I can live with that for right now if the exchange is us going into spring with a perfectly well-equipped set of tools that are all up to iron tier. Now, you want some mayo? Enjoy some mayo. You gotta bribe the man in power. That way when tax season comes around, maybe he looks the other way and he's just like, oh, don't worry about it. That's sweet. Thank you. I'm not a huge fan of milk. Ah, well. Such is life. I'm not a huge fan of your hair or that suit jacket, but you don't hear me being rude. You got the deluxe pack. We now have better inventory space, so that'll make life quite a bit easier. That'll actually bring us up a couple of tiers. Make it way more accessible to explore the dungeon and do anything else that we're going to be doing. And in fact, that might be what I do with the rest of the day, because we have got to get ourselves some coal. And so until we find a place where we can get a lineup on a bunch of coal, we're going to be a tad stuck, although not like in the sword warrior sense. Like nobody's going to stick us with a sword if I can help it. Let's upgrade to a copper hoe. He'll get started on it as soon as he can. It'll be ready on the 7th, I think. We'll sprint back over here and we'll get that taken care of. In the meantime, to the north we go. It's time for us to get back down into the dungeon. I'm going to eat that snow yam real quick, though, because we don't actually have a ton of energy remaining. Dog. Looks like the dog has been removed. He's not really in there anymore. We also need to spend a day fishing, but I'm gonna bypass on that one for right now, because I think the fishing episodes are probably the most boring episodes that I do. Of all the boring episodes that I produce, and believe me, there are some boring episodes. However, of all the boring episodes I produce, I think the most boring ones are probably the fishing ones. So I'm gonna stay away from it for a little while. Does anybody love me yet? I think we're getting pretty close with Penny, and I like Penny a lot. I mean, I really think if we put the effort in here, that Penny, we could snuggle up real tight with her. Be a pretty solid day. I've been working on this for months, too. She does not play easy to get. She is not easy to catch. So for right now, all that I'm trying to find is I'm trying to find the floor where those little black monster-y things were at. I don't know exactly where they might be. But they gotta be here somewhere. They might not have been on gold tier. This might be too deep. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go up a little bit and see if we can find maybe the castle biome or whatever. I'll probably end up selling off most of these random little things that we're picking up in the dungeon for some extra scratch here and there. There we go. This seems about right. This seems like it might be closer to where we want to be. By all means, come and bother me right now, little bat, while I'm trying to dig for the next lair. We are going to need some more iron, too, before we go any further. Murder you real fast, and then we'll go ahead and work on this. I need to get a new keyboard. Haven't decided what I'm going to get, though. I've been using Corsair peripherals for the last year or so, and I really, really like the Corsair peripherals. They're, like, fancy, but not too fancy. Like, they don't go too over the top with it. Like, it's still just, like, standard keyboard equipment. However, I need to get a new keyboard. It's not that there's nothing wrong with my Corsair keyboard. It's just dirty and gross at this point, and cleaning it is not really an option without sitting down and taking all the keys off and giving it like a crazy scrub. And I'm a tad worried that once I detach the keys and all that stuff, because it's a mechanical keyboard, that I'm not going to be able to get them back on. So I might give it a try this weekend once I got some free time. Maybe try to take the keys off and get it all cleaned up. If that doesn't work out, I'll probably go get another one. I try to replace my peripherals I spent a lot of time gaming compared to most people. When your job is to sit here and play video games like 8 hours a day, you go through peripherals pretty rapidly. I just lost my headphones too. I had some Series 1 Carchariases from Razer, and they were my favorite headphones I ever had in terms of sound quality, in terms of comfort, in terms of everything. This is from back in the day. Carcharias, the reason the first editions are such a big deal is because they lined them with satin when they first started making them. Like, they were actually really, really well made and like quality peripherals. Nowadays, I don't know if they use the satin or the fluffies or anything like that anymore when they make the earmuffs. But I've noticed that with Razer, there's definitely been kind of a downturn in the quality of their products. Their mice especially feel a lot cheaper than they used to feel. And so that's one of the reasons why I swapped over to Corsair, is because their stuff feels weighty. It's got like bottom weight. So for example, their mouse is very, very heavy. I have this tendency to kind of lift the mouse up a little bit while I'm playing games, and that makes it so that the eye doesn't scan properly. I like the Corsair ones because they have like a heavy metal plate on the bottom. It makes it so the mouse is difficult to pick up on accident. It slides much more readily. It makes my life easier. There we go. Coal is what we're looking for. We're looking for anything that can smelt, anything that can be dealt that can smelt. And then also, I wouldn't be too upset about killing a few more slimes while we're down here, just to help out with our collection thing that we have going on. These little guys, I'm going to break this big stone because down the line somewhere, we are probably going to need to track down for ourselves a bit more stone to put in all those nice retaining walls that we were looking at. Ah, there's a collection of these guys that I was looking for. Fortunately, we only got 1 coal out of there, but 6 coal is enough to smelt 30 ore. And so we don't really have that big of a surplus of ore. A little bit more iron to be had. Get rid of you two. Grab another coal. Very, very nice. I'm going to break open this box too, just to see what's inside, because I enjoy the acquisition of treasure. Now, oh, I forgot about this layer. I forgot that this was even like a thing, and then I'm going to be attacked by a... hiccup. I like how you can see them inside the walls there, although trypophobia warning, I guess. Trypophobia is one of those, just don't look it up. You know what? Do not look up trypophobia. I'm telling you right now, shit is nightmare fuel. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Scientists think that so many people have trypophobia because of snakes or something like that. I read like what would cause something like that because so many people suffer from it, but it's one of those weird things that people don't know they suffer from until you tell them they suffer from it. And they like look at it the first time, then they're like, oh my god, that kind of freaks me out. And I'll be like, yep, it did. I didn't know about it either until I saw it the first time, then it freaked me out too. Kind of over it at this point. It's kind of like one of those old internet things that doesn't bother me anymore. I wonder if those slime layers come up randomly. Because if we could come across one of those a little bit more frequently, we might be able to finish off that achievement faster. We also need to be sure that before we come down here, we're looking for access to... I really wish I could get all that coal right there. That'd be amazing. We're about to get jumped. It's okay, because I have decent weapons with me, and I'm not worried about it, but... Ooh. I didn't realize I was going to one-shot him. That might make it easy to farm up bat wings. What are bat wings worth? Like 20? I'm sure they can't be worth that much. I'll probably just sit on them for right now. Maybe sell them a bit afterwards. Farming up the void essence, it seems like it might work too. For now, I'm going to go back to the house. I'm going to rest for a little bit. We're going to come back at the beginning of tomorrow morning. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Stardew Valley. I almost said Hyperlight Drifter for some reason. I haven't played that game in a while. I will see you on the next episode of Stardew Valley. I'm really looking forward to this being a long-standing series on the channel. I don't know if there's actually like an ending or anything like that. I assume that there must be. It's probably like Harvest Moon, where eventually it just kind of ends and gives you a rating or something. I will see you all in future episodes. We got an eggplant juice. Bye, everybody.